What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. New video. Well, well, well. Last night, last night, we got a good fight, man. It's been a while since we had a good fight, and we got a good fight. I spent the last few months arguing with people why Canelo was going to win. All the things that Bud Crawford had against him, high hurdles. They were very high hurdles. And then they got in the ring. And that's the great thing about sports. All of us so-called know-it-alls, we can think whatever we want. We think we got it all figured out. And then they play the games. Or they fight the fights. And then they show us what it really is. So I tip my hat to Bud Crawford, man. I think it was probably around round 4 when I realized this is going to be a long night for Canelo. I think this is the first, no, I take that back. This is only the second time in the ring I've seen Canelo frustrated. But this is the first time I've seen Canelo frustrated because he knew he couldn't touch the guy. The first time I saw him very frustrated in the ring was when he fought Skull. And Skull just ran and ran and ran and ran and ran. That was frustrating to him. Bud Crawford wasn't running. I know people are trying to make excuses. Crawford ran. Crawford got in the middle of the ring with Canelo. And Canelo still never hit him with a clean shot. Canelo put hands on him a couple times, but with all of his power, he couldn't do it. And that was because of Bud. It reminded me, like, I don't know how many times or how many of you guys have seen when boxers talk about fighting Pacquiao. And one of the things that a lot of them say is he hits you from a bunch of different angles. That's what was happening last night. Crawford was hitting Canelo with both hands from every angle. He would move, then he'd plant and boom, 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 boom. And I think Canelo just couldn't figure it out. Now, there are some people saying there should be a rematch. I don't want to see a rematch. I think in a rematch, it would actually be worse for Canelo. And I'm going to tell you why. Bud has the recipe. And Bud has felt Canelo's power. He didn't get to feel Canelo. I didn't see him get one good, solid, clean shot in with all his power. But regardless, Crawford's going to, in this fight last night, Crawford went into the ring and he was having to be respectful in the beginning till he could get a feel like, okay, how hard is this dude really hitting? Now he knows. I believe in a rematch, Crawford will put his foot on the gas from round 1 to whatever round they finish on. I don't believe he can knock out Canelo, but I don't think Canelo would be able to hurt him. I really don't after what we saw last night. What I want to see, I want to see Bud stay in the division, and I actually want to see Bud Crawford fight Benavidez. I think that's the fight. A lot of people will probably be like, what the hell? I think a very technical fight would be Bud fighting Plant. Plant can box, man. He gasses out. He probably wouldn't be able to go to. I think it would be impressive if Crawford could get a knockout in this division. And I could see him having a very good technical fight with Plant and possibly knocking him out in the later rounds when he gasses out like he usually does. But the big fight is going to be, I think, Bud versus Benavidez. There's an argument I've already heard where maybe it should be Canelo versus Benavidez and the winner gets Bud. Bud's about to turn 38. I don't know if that Bud wants to wait a whole year, because it's going to take about 6 months if they could even set it up between Canelo and Benavidez. And then it would take another 6 months. So it would be a year if they did that. And so that's why, to me, I think the big fight is not the rematch. It's Bud Crawford versus Benavidez. If Crawford wins that fight, which I believe he would, he's not going to knock him out. But he would outbox Benavidez. After that fight, if they want to talk about a rematch, again, I don't want to see it, but I could see it. I could see it happening that way. One thing I know for sure is that fight was good for boxing. And boxing needed it. And the humbleness that both fighters showed after the fight, the winner as well as the loser, I respect that a lot. All this, I don't understand why people do all the trash talking in boxing. Like, you're going to get in the ring. Like Berlanga, Teofimo, like these dudes with big mouths, like it makes you want to root against them. And I guess that's what they want. What do they call it? The heel in wrestling. But it doesn't make sense when you guys should respect the fact that you guys are going to get in the ring together and let your hands do the talking, right? But as I've said in other videos, clout is a hell of a drug. Clout is probably the most, and it's not cloud. I see people in the comments sometimes, especially when they're talking papas, they always say cloud. And I'm like, how are you going to talk crazy to me and you don't even know what the hell? You're using a whole different word. Use precipitation then next time. Anyways, we don't want to get all caught up in that. But saw a message pop up. It had something to do with the Canelo fight. And I know this video isn't going to get a lot of views, but it's fine. It's the video I wanted to do today because I wanted to give props to Bud Crawford. I doubted that man. I had been doubting that man, and I am now a fan of his. Not just because of what he did in the ring. That's a huge part of it. But the humility he had afterwards. Who he thanked immediately after the fight is important. That's a glimpse into the way this person thinks and how they live. So I'm very curious to see what Turki Al-Sheikh puts together now. He has an opportunity to really convince people after last night's fight who he puts in the ring with Canelo, who he puts in the ring with Bud Crawford after last night's fight. That's going to set the tone as far as how serious is Turki and how serious is Dana White about making boxing the #1 combat sport again. I think it's important. Boxing, it's a sweet science for a reason, man. And we saw some science last night. Canelo doesn't need to retire. Canelo isn't too old. Canelo's style was just completely wrong for Bud. Bud's style was perfect against that fighter. So that's my video, man. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I may be doing another video today. I'm not really sure. I might do another one, but I wanted this one to be the first one I put out. So everybody have a great day. Don't forget to tell the ones you love that you love them, man. I'm out of here.